Before it was a movie, before it was even Kane's web series, it was just a creepypasta that went something along the lines of, if you're not careful, you might find yourself no-clipping out of reality. And into the back rooms. Let's see if we can find someone who can tell us all about it.
Nice background.
Alrighty. Thank you very much. Kane, I'm coming to you from the Backrooms, and that's exactly what I want to start with. What was it about that liminal creepypasta that inspired you to jump on Blender and bring that meme to life?
The initial aspect was, I think, just how this image, and along with a lot of these other liminal space photos that people would kind of tag onto it, oftentimes in the same vein of these are yellow environments, but sometimes also not. But creatively, I think a lot of these were appealing to just distant memories from childhood that were lacking context for me. It kind of appeals to a early 2000s or late 90s sort of sensibility with like this digicam look with bad white balance and sort of all of those visual features sort of provoke a feeling of these feel like real estate listing images rather than like actual art pieces made by a person with an intention. So they feel deeply impersonal, but at the same time you're then able to project your own personhood and experience onto them. So I look at these and I feel like I've been here before at some point in my life. I don't know when, I don't know where, but I feel like I have. So I think it's sort of sticking with that feeling was the initial itch, and then following it through like a sort of science fiction rabbit hole and feeding into and getting excited by the concept of a sort of artificial man-made place, like a place that is inherently bears all the hallmarks of a human structure, but is somehow no longer requiring or no longer in conversation with actual human needs anymore, and is somehow adrift in a way.
Absolutely. That comes through in not just the film, but also your original videos. And I want to chat about that too. From Blender in your bedroom to becoming A24's youngest director ever. Tell me about making the jump from YouTube to the big screen as your directorial debut.
I mean, it's been I don't want to say a slow road. Obviously, like with age and everything, time dilation, it's felt like a good chunk of my life. But I feel like it's been a gradual, like I starting this project online in 2022, I just have always been very obsessive, just focused on the project and the relationship that I have with my audience and what I owe to them narratively and like sort of what I set out to do before any of these doors opened. The goal was always to make sure that this never got in the way or polluted what the trajectory was from the beginning. So every choice that I've tried to make, I've looked at it as, it needs to be additive, it needs to be in line with that original perspective. And I would say that like I've learned an immense amount. But like, I guess the specifics of actually making this film, like we started pre-production like a year ago today. Exactly. It was, very much kind of the same process I had come to expect. It's like, technically speaking, I feel like I have a lot of answers to a lot of questions inside this fictional world, and it's just about finding better ways to communicate with other people, and the people I work with were very talented and very kind and great to collaborate with. So I would say they made my job easy in that regard. But
Well, it's not just CGI this time. Tell me about working with your incredible cast.
yeah, they're lovely people. I think that when we spoke, I think like the goal that I wanted was just to, the Backrooms has fundamentally, my series so far has focused a lot more on the conceptual aspects, or has always tried to have a realistic human psychology element to the project, but it's not foregrounding it in a very obvious way. So I can answer a million things about the world and about the context, but so I would have that on set and for them. But the goal was always to just make sure that it was really holding on to a specific roadmap for the psychology of these two people who are sort of individual. I mean, every character in the film is, but obviously, speaking about them, they're specific interpretations of and stances on that core concept of what the Backrooms represents, and it could represent a whole bunch of things. You could have fun after this is all over and pat yourself on the back and talk about how it's a profound metaphor for X, Y, or Z. But I like just treating it like a literal thing and saying that it's literally what you're seeing on screen in the moment. And that goes into just having this physical set that we could actually, it's not up to the imagination. It was literally there, and it was very interactive, I'd say. Very interactive and collaborative.
Well, thank you, Kane. Congrats on the film. I can't wait to watch it a second time if I can no-clip my way back to reality.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Take care.